Hey everyone, welcome back to the Infinite Respawn podcast. And in case you forgot who we were, I'm Chicken.
I'm Oak Tree.
I'm Griff.
I'm Pocket.
What's up, guys?
What up?
It's been 5 months.
It's been a while.
5 months.
Yeah.
Right?
Since our
A
last
lot has
episode.
happened in 5 months. There's a door.
There's also a door. It's not the same door, though.
No. It's two
all
different
green
doors.
Screen, guys. all of it's green screen.
Also, I think our tracks will have each other on them because I can hear you through the wall already. Chicken's literally
I'll try
right through this wall for me now.
Yeah.
This is my office.
Griff is right in front of me. Through my wall.
Might have.
We need to get you some soundproofing on one of those walls.
Probably her wall.
Get the foam things and start sticking them on the wall.
Yeah, I've
We've
got
got,
some
like,
extra
a
ones.
box full
I
of
just
them.
don't know where they're at. Like, we're still unpacking and everything from the renovation. I think they're in one of the cabinets in there that we haven't unpacked
Yeah, I think
yet.
they're in the cabinet.
I
Which
think
you
I've
would
got
think,
3 or
you
4
know,
of them here. Y'all can have.
Like, you would
I
think
think, like,
5
tape them
months
all
is
together
plenty of
and then-
time, but we had
Ah, it was
renovations
technically-
and then a nugget came and
I was about to say it was technically 3 months, and then it's been 2 months with the nugget.
Yeah.
It has been.
Tomorrow will be 2 months, right?
No.
Yesterday was 2 months.
Yeah.
October 10th. 2 months old.
He getting big. But you guys can't see him yet because he is with his grandparents right now for babysitting purposes because I didn't want to have a screaming angry nugget halfway through the show. Nobody wants that, so. But at some point when Chicken starts streaming again, I'm sure you'll see him plenty on that.
Yes.
So,
Go back
how's
to
it been
some
for the
point.
past 5? Well,
Probably next month.
yeah, I think he's
I've been
thinking
looking for
November
next
for
month.
streaming, and I'm going to go ahead and start Let's Plays again today, if I can get everything to work. But I downloaded a bunch of mods for the game, so I don't know when I start it up if it's going to work. I'm going to test it out first and see if it
game are you
implodes.
playing?
I am going to play Skyrim. I have never played it past, like, this one certain mission thing, and it's right at the beginning of the game. So I'm going to see if
Let me tell you my recommendation for the beginning of the game. Kill a chicken. That's all I'm saying right now.
No, I know what happens with
I
some
know
of
you
that
do,
stuff.
but I'm just saying that's my recommendation. Go ahead and become enemy number
I don't
1 right off
want
the bat.
to.
Play the game the rest
I
of
don't even want to kill the chicken just for the lulz. I just like chickens. Obviously, I mean, I'm kind of married to one, but
Oh, thanks. I take that somewhat as an insult.
If you don't want to join the Stormcloaks or the Empire, then there's a mod where if you're an elf, you can join the Dalmor.
oh. I haven't downloaded, like, the mods I've downloaded are mostly graphical, and, like, there's the patch overhaul that fixes some things that were broken, and like, to start with, and, most of it's just graphical, or things like, I downloaded one that adds in extra companion voice lines and things like that, because I didn't want to get too far away from what the actual experience of Skyrim was supposed to be, like, the quest lines and whatnot, so I didn't download anything that changes the story. Just downloaded some, like, superfluous pretty things.
Be careful on how far down the rabbit hole you fall, because you could get stuck playing that game forever.
Well, I think that's part of my
I
problem
mean-
is why I didn't get very far before, is because the last time I tried to play it, it was one of those things where it's like, and here's sort of where you can go, but really you just have to figure it out yourself, and there's a bunch of other stuff that you can do, and I got, like, overwhelmed and didn't have an exact go here, do this thing, so I stopped playing. So I'm hoping doing videos will actually make me play the game, because I mean, you can play it literally on any device at this point, so I might as well have played it.
I like how you went from Red Dead that you finished and that took like a year.
Yeah.
And then you're going, let me go with another really long ass game.
Well, I'm also thinking
That's gonna
I'll
take a
probably
year.
I can take breaks during it though and play other stuff in between. It's just I know the next new game that I'm not playing or that I'm picking up is Cyberpunk, and I didn't want to do videos of Cyberpunk because with Let's Plays you have to stop and, you know, break it up, and then I only have like Saturday and Sunday that I can do that on, which means I couldn't play during the week at all. But I want that freedom to be like, I've got an hour or two, I'm gonna sit down and play Cyberpunk, so I'm gonna I'm gonna play that one in my free time.
I'm waiting for Baldur's Gate 3.
I've seen good things about it. I mean, it's made by the
That
same people who made
game-
Divinity, so
I've watched
I
Shroud
was
play a little bit
tempted
about
to-
it this week, and they were in like a cave that had these spiders, and it was hilarious because they get in and they go, wait, I just saw a giant spider, and he goes over and like shows like around the like just kind of pans around, and it's like hissing and spitting shit, and I'm like, nope, don't want none of that shit right now. Like, I don't know how far they are into that, like how much they're giving in the early access, but no.
I think it's only up to Act 1, which is kind of why I haven't bought it yet, but even with it being that early access, I'm really tempted to.
I mean,
Yeah,
I
just
trust
because
Larian, so
Absolutely.
I
There's
trust
no
the
doubt.
studio, and they let you multi-class in that game.
oh my lord,
Dude,
Which
I'm
I'm
sure you
excited
saw. Have you
about.
saw the character creation side of it?
it's big.
A little bit.
It is intricate. I mean, there's like 13 different races, and then there's sub races for all of those races, and they all give you different styles of bonuses for your stats and whatnot. And
yeah, but did you
it's-
see the like?
You've played
they-
Divinity. It is like fucking Divinity souped up.
Which would be awesome, except for they aggregated the data for character creations for everybody that's playing right now. And if you put everything together and get an average of what people have rolled as far as looks and everything, you get the most stereotypical average white guy. Yeah.
Yep.
Like you could be
And-
different colors and different races, and you can have all these different neat
Demons
features
and elves and
but
all sorts of
once you
things,
put
and you
everything
get this
together,
generic
everybody
white guy.
overall is making really generic characters. Apparently, that makes me feel sad. You guys, how come we're not all purple? Why? If you
How come we
can
don't
be,
have
why wouldn't you
demons
be?
or elves
Right?
or orcs or whatever?
I would
all sorts of
actually make
things.
I would prefer to
um,
wear purple over being purple, personally.
B.
No, I was planning on doing my high elf character that is going to be similar to Van Brichten. So because that'll let me play with the 5th edition rule set, but for classes, I can play around with that and try to get an idea of how to make that character actually
Baldur's Gate
work
really is
in,
just
in
like
future
a
games.
video game D&D,
Oh
right?
yes, absolutely.
I thought
like,
so.
If you look, there's even a button when it comes up for you to do a skill check. You have to roll a 20-sided die.
I just
And then
am I
whenever
gonna
it
have
comes
to have
out-
played the previous 2 versions of the game?
No,
Good.
No.
Because I haven't.
Although
But this seems pretty right
I-
up my alley.
I would like us to at least go through the second game together. Cause
How is it on
think
PC?
would
Can
be
I get it somewhere?
Baldur's Gate,
It is on Steam.
Oh.
Baldur's Gate Dark Alliance. Which one is that one? Is that an offshoot one or is that
No,
the first one?
Dark Alliance was the console versions. Dark Alliance 1 and 2 were the console versions. The
Okay.
PC versions are I believe are different.
Remind me after the show to put it on my Steam wish list, because if I open Steam right now, it's gonna lag everything probably.
Yeah, don't
So
worry about that.
I don't want to risk it. It's been 5 months and everything is kind of shaky right now anyway. So
They
off
are
to a
dated.
rough
That's
start.
the only thing you have to worry about.
That's okay.
1998.
Yeah. So I mean the systems are not going to be what you're used to.
What?
But it was developed by BioWare, original BioWare, back when
Back
they
when
were
BioWare
really
was
good
good.
at making stuff.
Back when
back when
BioWare
they-
was BioWare and not EA's BioWare.
Oh.
Yeah.
I will warn you now. If I'm remembering if this was the correct one, there's a joke about one of the prisoners sneaking a hamster up his butt.
Oh Lord. Okay.
It's become a whole thing. Like him and the hamster are like best buds basically, and he didn't want the guards to confiscate him, so he hid the hamster up his butt to get him in
That's
jail.
not
with
the
him.
plan I would have gone with, but whatever works. I
What would
guess.
you have done? Ate it?
No, I would have figured out something better than having to put the hamster somewhere in my body.
I mean, if they take your clothes
wrong
and
with you?
everything.
Hopefully the
I mean, you
hamster
kinda
is
run
smart
out of
enough
places.
to help me out here a little bit then.
Apparently, from what I remember, I think the hamster was actually really intelligent for some reason, and talk to him.
That's weird. It got weird.
But welcome to D&D stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
But yeah, that's an early
look at
access. And it
Oznet.
just came out too.
I
oh,
own the second one, evidently. I just looked.
nice.
I know people are surprised about the fact I own a bunch of video games.
And you didn't
Never
know
played.
it.
No.
Like,
Yeah, I was
you
gonna
have
say,
so
I think
many
the
that
not
you didn't
knowing
even
it-
know.
Willing
It's
to
like, oh,
bet
I bought a
that
bundle
you
with
haven't
100
even
games in
played
it.
That look.
Oh well.
You mentioned early access though, and Chicken and Baka and I, since we should probably talk about what we played this week specifically. We have tried out Grounded now. It's pretty neat.
So you
My-
finally played it?
My spiders were playing with my sister too because it's 4-player co-op. My sister and I have the spider slider on to where they look like dough balls. I think that makes them harder to notice sometimes though. I won't lie, because there aren't legs or anything. I think it's harder to just see them out of the corner of your eye and readily acknowledge that it's a threat. I mean, first of all, they look like cookies. Secondly, they don't have any legs. They're just floating, so I don't think
Well,
it
they
registers.
don't do the hissing sound they do either, right? Because they took all the spider sounds along with it.
I guess so. I don't
Yeah.
really remember hearing anything. Although
Yeah,
you
'cause
do
they
hear the
will-
little aphids run around, and those are so cute.
Where did you see the
lady
Where did y'all
fix
end
it
up
all
starting your
pissed?
base at?
Right next to the first analyzer thing.
Yeah, we just start
Okay.
making things right there. I mean, it seems like a safe area because it's right there in the right out of the tutorial part. So probably not a lot of
Yeah, we made-
predators.
We made ours next to the big microchip thing or whatever that you have to do that the lasers point down at, like probably
Oh,
where
yeah,
they
yeah.
shrunk
Oh,
you.
we're right next to that too.
Yeah, we're not far
Okay.
from that. It's pretty close.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
So that's we
We're
made
basically
ours like
between two rocks.
because what we figured out is specifically the spiders can't climb over the top of that, so we actually have it gated out all the way around the outside, and we can actually basically cheese the spiders right there in that one little area. And then we got to the point we had traps, so you can just lay the traps down. The problem is you forget the traps are there and they hurt you too.
Oh no! I didn't know there were friendly fire.
Of course.
There was friendly fire on that. I do know that
What?
everything
There
else
is
can
friendly
hurt people.
fire.
Yes,
there
well, I
was.
didn't know. I didn't
shot
think the
you with
traps
the
would
bow.
hurt you if you put them down.
Everything else does.
Yeah,
You
it
threw a
does.
fucking
I
piece of
hit
grass at
chicken
me.
like 4 times when we were playing on Friday, and one of them I was trying to put down. I picked up a piece of grass, like the grass stalks, because they're essentially your construction stuff, and I was just trying to put it down, but he was in front of me, and I hit the throw button instead of the put down button, and it hit him in the back of the head for a pretty significant, like more than I thought it would for a construction material. It hurt him.
The only problem I'm having with it right now is like it's all hosted on mine, because I'll be streaming it, and me and No Pants are on PC, and then Alyssa and Old Man are playing on Xbox, and for some reason there's issues with the Xbox. It won't load everything in.
That's weird.
So where we might have, let's say, like in our case, we built bridges across the top of all the grass to all the areas, so you don't have to go through the grass. You can just climb up to the top of your house and make your way all the way around. We'll get to the edge where I've been building, and they can't see what I've built, and it doesn't load in for them either. So even if they try to climb across it, they're not floating in the air; they actually fall.
Huh.
Huh.
So
weird.
they've corrected that a little bit with the last update, but then there's some other issues that's been going on too. So it's very weird. It's like it's one of those things where we bitched for so long that things on console would be more complete than the things on PC. This is the opposite of that.
That's not
So
It's
like-
early access, so
Yeah.
and I had to
it's definitely early
uninstall and
access.
reinstall my game because I first of all it didn't update properly. For some reason my game did not update. It was a different version. Every time I try to go to the multiplayer, it'd be like, no,
Nope.
you can't do it.
Yeah, and it was showing that he
So-
didn't have an update pending, but mine and Kat's had updated to the same version. So we were on a different, more recent version than him, and it wouldn't let him update.
Yeah, so I had to
That's
uninstall
weird.
and reinstall it, and then it worked. I'm like, okay, I guess that's what we'll do.
As long as it worked. And it saved the game data too, so that was nice after the uninstall. We were a little worried since everything was saved on his end that we'd come back to a fresh map, but no. But
I
it
guess
was fun.
because it's saved in their cloud.
Yeah,
Yep. Which is nice. I do like that.
it's pretty nice. It's a fun
I ran
idea.
To so many spiders.
Yeah, Baka kept finding the spiders when we were playing together. Like, every couple of minutes, he'd be like, oh, nope, spider. Like, how do you find them all, first of all? And secondly, why do you keep running into them? He also killed an ant by
everywhere.
accident.
I found a pack of 4 of them.
Ugh.
Oh, that must have been underneath the tree.
Can you get to the beehive? There's a bee
No,
thing
actually.
up on a stick.
No, you can't get up there yet.
Ah, poop. It looks like you should be able to climb up the rose bush to get up there, but...
There is, like, as you explore, you find weapons and stuff like that that you have to analyze in order to be able to make them.
Yeah.
And one of the things is made out of bee, but there's no bees yet. So we know they're coming.
Oh, so it's a coming soon kind of thing. Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, it's an early
Which,
access
to
game,
be
but
honest,
it's got a really good foundation.
To get to the bee thing, to get the bee ones is one of the, like, the freakiest ones because you have to have the ant suit and you're walking around the middle of all these army ants, like the soldier ants, and if you accidentally swing for anything at them,
They're just gonna kill you.
you're getting attacked. Other than that, you can just walk through.
Yeah, you can
It's
ask
like,
Baka what happens with that, right, Baka?
We
Yeah,
won't
Baka.
discuss it.
He's like the troublemaker on our little paradise server or whatever, you know?
I would
Yeah.
recommend the if you can get enough ants killed to get the ant one, and how we ended up doing it, which I recommend this to anybody because it's something you can start kind of early. Is if you can build a trap and build a lure, set them out, and like we put ours in front of that same chip thing that I was talking about. You put it in front of it, it attracts the ants, and then they'll land up on the trap, and then you just finish killing them.
Aw.
But if you have the ant suit, then instead of like 5 things to carry, you can carry up to 8. And so, like, if you're trying to move stuff around, it's a lot easier. And then also, if you're around soldier ants, they don't attack unless you attack them.
I'm pretty sad that they made everything so cute, though. Like, I don't want to kill the
Except
ants
for the spiders.
because they're adorable. Well, okay, yes, I'll take a pass on that. But, like, the ants are adorable, the aphids are so cute, and you can make shoes out of them, which I did because I had killed some on accident, but, they're so super cute. I guess, like, the weevils and whatnot are not that cute, but they made everything, most of it, it's like, here's this really cute thing, now murder its face. I don't want it, though.
Well, that's why I'm in the group now, because I'll just fucking kill it.
Yeah, Baka's pretty indiscriminate when it comes to his, bug genocide.
I mean, I've killed a lot of the cute ones, so we have food.
Look, you can kill other things. Like, the weevils are not cute. You can kill them for food. Why you gotta kill all the aphids all the time?
They have a
Because
game
they're
now
jumping
in early
around
access.
in front of me,
that-
and I just go stab, and now I have food.
There's a game in early access now that I really want to play that is basically the same premise. It's called Small Land. And but it graphically is a little bit more realistic, like, and it's been being worked on for the last couple years. So I don't know if somebody jumped ship and decided to create their own Grounded, like, or if it was one of those where it was like somebody was on this and ended up working for Obsidian and goes, oh, that's a great idea, we can build that real quick because of our team, and they started building it. I don't know exactly how that worked, but I feel like they're connected somehow. But the world looks larger on the way it's done, and it looks like there's more adventure to it and more things to build out of, like how we're doing pieces of grass and twigs and things like that. They're building out of, like, trash, if you will, material that you might find on the ground that
Trash.
somebody's like pieces of cardboard and things like that too. So,
Yeah.
which I think is a cool concept.
Speaking of
You know,
Obsidian, just as a
so-
random aside, if you were holding out for Outer Worlds to be on Steam, it's finally coming to Steam, I think, next month. I'm sure most of us probably spent the $1 for Game Pass preview on PC and played it when it came out because you could play it there instead of stupid Epic.
Yep.
I don't know what day it is. I was
is that
scrolling
game-
through to try to find out what day, but I don't see it.
Well, and since it's an Xbox exclusive, like as in the company Microsoft exclusive, I mean, I believe that all their stuff is going to stay on.
Oh,
is
you
gonna end
mean
up staying
since
on Game Pass
Microsoft
anyway.
bought Obsidian?
Yep. They bought it just before Outer Worlds came out.
Mm-hmm.
So it's first party.
Yeah, but it was still Epic Store exclusive on PC. So I mean,
Yeah, it was
why
Epic.
it's-
That-
it's-
man,
oh no, it's
that's just
October
a sale.
23rd. That's when it is. Sorry, it's not next month. It's this month. It's not this Friday, but next Friday.
Sweet.
Right, but my point is you could just pay the $1. You
Yeah.
wouldn't have to pay 50 or whatever it is.
That's what I did.
Yeah, I mean,
Because I was
just,
not gonna.
just get Game Pass.
Because that was a game that
'Cause
I
if it's-
had seriously considered purchasing on day one, but it was like I wanted it on PC, but it was gonna be an Epic Store exclusive. So I was like, I don't want to do
Yeah,
that.
if you have an Xbox or you have a PC, there's no reason for you not to have Game Pass.
Yeah.
That is the easiest.
That's what
I
we're
mean, you
playing
can
Grounded.
play
It's
whatever
on
you
Game
want.
Pass. So.
Yep. Get in first party, right? So.
But yeah,
We've got
that
good
was just
stuff.
sorry, just a little aside in case you had been one of the holdouts for some reason and didn't do it on Game Pass. If you wanted to, I guess, actually own it, now you can on Steam. Sorry. What do
Maybe
you
you're a
mean?
person that's not a Microsoft fan, but you're an Obsidian fan. Then you can play it that way.
I mean, you have to
You're
be
still
a
giving them
Microsoft
their
fan
money at the
now.
end of the day, and you're actually giving
Yeah.
more than you probably normally would. But hey, whatever floats your boat at the end of the day.
Hey, at least you get to split it and give Steam some of that money too.
Well, I wonder
Yeah.
if it's gonna come out on sale, too. Is it gonna be one of those things that it was exclusive for so long that as soon as it hits Steam, it goes on sale? And if it doesn't, we've got another sale coming up pretty soon, I think.
I wouldn't be surprised if they put it on sale right away.
Yeah.
It's like one of
What
those
they do with
big
Sea of
release
Thieves.
thing.
Th-
I think
I
it
don't
came out
know.
on sale too, like
To be
a
honest.
15% discount or something.
Okay.
How?
Because when it hit, and there was a lot of people that bought it
Oh.
on Steam.
It's been a year. Sorry. I was trying to figure out when
For
Outer
what?
Worlds actually came out.
Yeah, they only had a year exclusive, I think.
So
Mhm.
stupid. I don't like the timed exclusivity thing. That's across the board. That's not just Epic versus Steam. That's Xbox versus PlayStation or PlayStation versus everybody or whatever. I don't like the
Yeah, I don't mind
365
first party
days of
exclusives. I
exclusive.
have a
Yeah.
major problem with third party exclusivity. And
Third-party timed exclusive. Like,
Yeah.
what the hell is the point
If
of
it's
that?
gonna be a third party exclusive, like, you know, all of the Uncharted stuff is Naughty Dog, but it's always gonna be on PlayStation and nowhere else. Okay,
Yeah.
that's exclusivity across the board, and that's fine. That's what one of the things, you know, you're selling the console with and all of that. But don't be like, this is gonna be exclusive to whatever platform for 6 months or a year, especially a year. That's just stupid. You're shooting yourself in the foot that way as a developer.
Well, and they
because
do
you
that- they do that
don't have
shit
that
with,
platform.
like-
I'm not gonna buy
interest.
it.
like Call of Duty's that way. And it's like, of all things, you have Call of Duty, and Destiny was that way for a long time too, where it was like you have two major games, and a portion of the game is not available to anybody for an entire year.
Yeah, I don't like that.
You know, and it's like, it makes no sense.
Call of Duty's been like that though since the 360, where they would do all the DLC, where Xbox would get it first for for 3 months or whatever, and then it would go on PlayStation or PC.
Or they,
So it's more on the publisher side than it is anything else.
Yeah.
do you remember back when, because it was largely done in 360 PS3 era, when they would do exclusives per console? Like the Xbox, Soul Calibur is one of the ones that I can remember it the best with, where Soul Calibur had Yoda to play on the Xbox, or Darth Vader, I want to say it was, on the, or maybe it was Maul. It was one of the
Yeah.
other,
Darth Vader.
It was Darth Vader.
yeah, on PlayStation. And it's like, don't do that. That's weird. And then they did sell them as downloadable characters later.
Yeah, you can get, and they also released Galen Merrick and stuff, and Yoda is absolutely broken in either version if you have them.
Yeah, it's kind of like playing Oddjob and
Can't-
GoldenEye, from what I understand. He's
It's
small,
worse
so he's
than-
harder to
than
get
playing. It is worse than that.
through. Oh no, it's
like-
worse. Everybody complains
It's
about that.
worse than that?
That's the meme
Because
complaint.
most of your attack, like a lot of people when they do combos in the game, the combos are mid to high hits, and all that shit goes right over Yoda's head.
Because he's
And
tiny.
so yeah, so you and some characters only have like a couple attacks that could hit, so you're basically just jabbing these low attacks to even hit the little fucker.
You're spamming the little slidey kick thing forever.
Nightmare can do it. He's got some pretty good heavy attacks that come down right on top of him and beat that little muppet up.
That's so mean. That's so mean.
Wow.
I mean, at least it's not Baby Yoda, I guess.
No. The stormtroopers did that one, and then proceeded to have repercussions later.
What are you even playing, Oak? Sorry, we were talking about what we played and just kind of.
I've played Grounded. I've played a little bit of Sea of Thieves. I actually skipped the June update for Sea of Thieves, the one with the flame heads. Like they had these skulls that you had to
was
beat
that
the
June or was
captain,
that
and when you got it,
July?
it was like a flamethrower or whatever. I completely skipped it because it pissed me off because it was completely OP.
Oh, the flamethrower.
Because if you beat it, now you have this flamethrower, or if somebody like a PvP person was to destroy somebody that just killed it, so they didn't even actually take the time to kill it themselves, they ended up killing somebody else. You could use it as a flamethrower and destroy a whole fucking ship and everybody on it easily.
That thing
And
is
it's-
straight fucking broken.
And I was like, no.
Was it a limited
And what
time
they
thing?
did
Is
is
it
they were
gone
like,
now?
well, it's going to be worth a ton of gold. The more you use it, the less gold you'll end up having. Is
Yeah,
how
but some
they
people don't
put it, but
care
it's-
about that. I mean, people flying the Reaper
I mean,
flag,
some of the
they don't
people
give
I
a
watch have-
damn.
Well, I've got friends that are PvP people, and they've got 24 million gold. What the hell do they care?
Yeah, they
You know
don't
what I
need
mean?
it
Like,
to
they've got-
sell it, you know? I think that's one of the
No.
things that, with that specific instance where it's like, we're going to make this worth a lot of money so people will want to get rid of it, they don't understand that their game has been out long enough that a lot of the people that have continuously played it have a ton of money. So making it worth something to sell doesn't do anything for them. Like, you have to find
Right.
another way to trivialize that, or else they're just going to keep it because you gave them a super weapon and said, well, it's worth a lot of money. And they're like, but I'm wealthy. I don't need
Right.
your money. I just need this super weapon. So thanks. Now let me go make everybody else's lives miserable by setting their ships on fire, and there's nothing they can do about it.
That's what I would do. Just jump on the ship and just
Yep.
Flamethrower.
yeah. Well, why? I mean,
Oh.
Hey,
Keep
the whole
coming
thing
back
is like
up
if you're
and-
gonna
and beat
PvP,
stuff.
that's people are gonna find a way to destroy. Now, to be fair, of the friends that I have that are PvPers, they never did it and they never saw anyone do it. But it was the whole point to me was there are gonna be people that do it, especially when Sea of Thieves themselves tweeted out people doing it.
Yeah. I mean,
Like now you're gonna go, oh well, there's an
you're
idea I
encouraging
didn't
the
have before.
behavior.
Yeah, so it was just kind of like, okay, no, not interested in that. So I haven't played as much of that as I would have liked. I've been playing Squadrons, but I'm having the same problem that a lot of people on Reddit are having right now, which is it was crashing at a particular point in the game. And so I tried to make the adjustments they recommended on Reddit, didn't work. Thanks EA for fucking up another game.
Surprise!
Big surprise.
EA is such
I know,
a bastion
hopefully-
of quality these days. I'm
God.
so shocked.
Hopefully
I'm
it'll
so
fix.
surprised they have messed up another Star Wars game.
Oh,
I know, right?
no. It's
And I
only a
really
matter of
like the
time
plot
before
line too.
Microsoft
Like I'm
buys
playing the
them,
game and I'm
too.
like I'm really enjoying this, and then it's like, and you know,
Yeah.
and then I have I've played a lot of Call of Duty. Been playing and grinding through the multiplayer on it. I'm enjoying the multiplayer on it. And then ever since season 6 came out of Warzone of the game, and then Warzone now is broken for me, to where I'm having a hard time with it.
Thanks,
So
Activision.
I'll be playing a little bit and it breaks, and I'm like, okay, I can play all multiplayer all day long, no problem. 6 straight hours, no issues, and then that happens. So it's just kind of like, okay, whatever. We played Among Us, all of us together.
Oh
Played Among
yeah,
Us.
that was a
Big
good
group of us.
one. It's been so long since
I was
we've had
hoping
a show
somebody
that I
would
don't
bring it
remember
up.
what we do and don't need to talk about.
I was like, I hope
Uh,
somebody brings up Among Us.
Yeah, so I really enjoyed playing it with y'all. That was my first time playing it, and I've played it 3 times since then. One with a friend of mine's stream, that was the day after, and then I've done it a couple times in another person's stream, and then I did it on my own the other day too, and we ended up doing hide and seek, which was intense because we set it up to where you had to have 5 short tasks, 1 long task if you're the people that can get killed. And the way that the hide and seek works is basically the person that is the killer, you only have 1 imposter. They have to stay in the cafeteria if you're in the main one, and they have to turn off the lights. Once the lights are out, that counts as your countdown, right, for your hide and seek. Then he has to find everybody. And so they're running around trying to find to kill, and everybody's mics are open. So you can say, I just got killed and whatever, or you're like, no, because they saw each other, or you can talk to each other. It reminded me a little bit of Damned in the fact that you could communicate as the imposter that I'm coming after you and vice versa type deal if you're, except there's no proximity. And so that part was hilarious playing that way. And we had up to 10 people that ended up playing with us that way after playing like a regular match. So it was fun. I enjoyed playing it that way. With our group, it would be hilarious. Absolutely hilarious.
So the
Between
imposter
Red and
turns
Ollie.
off the light?
Do what now?
So the imposter turns off the lights so that the
Nobody
people can't see?
Yeah, the imposter turns off the lights. Nobody turns them on. There's no reporting of bodies. And so what you do is you're basically running around the inside. Basically the way that the crewmen win is they have to finish all their tasks. The way the imposter wins is he's got to be able to kill everybody.
That's
Yeah.
interesting. I saw a different version where you turn the imposter's vision to like 0.25 so that they can't see anything around them, and you give them like max movement speed, and you increase the survivor's vision rate to like max so that they could see everything. And basically the imposter is flying around the map, climbing the walls and whatnot, trying to track
Oh,
somebody
good
as
God.
quickly as possible. And you're like, they can't see shit. And flying around the map, so you just see them fly into a room with you and circle around the wall and then run back out, and you're like, oh god, hurt.
Yeah,
I
we
gotta
set
finish this task before he comes
because
back.
the lights being out doesn't infect the imposter, so we had to set it at 0.25 on theirs as well. And that's basically what they see is you go into a room, you might see a set of legs and go, I hope the Q button works. You know, because sometimes it works and sometimes it doesn't. And we made it to where it was like 15 seconds between, just because if there were 2 people doing the same task at the same place,
You don't want to double
you
kill
couldn't
instantly.
just go click. Yeah, I couldn't go kill real quick. Give them 15 seconds so it gives somebody else a chance to get away.
That's
But
definitely a game chicken when you start streaming. I want to get at least one night where we can stream that game.
I will. I told Ollie, well, I'll try to do it at least once a month, where I'll try to get everybody grouped up, because all we need is one more person, and we'll have a full 10-man. And
but No
and
Pants
we'll-
will play it.
Yeah.
Alyssa will play it. There's people that'll play it. So.
Yeah, so I can hit it up with Oak, and we can get a full 10-man going, because that
That-
game is
that
just
game
so
is-
much fucking fun.
It's better when you're playing with people you know, because like I was playing it quite a bit with just random people online, and like you start running into issues of people leaving the game if they don't get the killer, or
Yeah.
the second someone starts pointing a finger at them, they'll go, okay, well you guys are stupid, and dip and leave. And
Yeah, there's a lot of. We
Yeah.
dealt with that a little bit because what we did is I would set the match to private, let my lobby fill, which would be about 5 or 6 people to start with, and then I'd let it fill with everybody else publicly. And we'd run into that. We'd have somebody that would quit. We'd have we had people that were AFK. Like, you just logged into this game. How are you now AFK?
Trolls.
Yeah. So it's just kind of like, okay, whatever. So
Yeah.
you know, it's all different types of things like that you run into. I prefer to play with people who know, which I think is what has made the game from 2018 as popular as it is now, is because that a person got their friends together. And there's another game that if we
saw
get
it.
enough of us together, Town of Salem.
Oh, yeah, Red plays
Red-
that all the time.
ooh.
That one's not. I've
I
watched
am-
him play
yeah.
Is it not as good?
It is super good, but it is not my style, because it's super simplistic, because basically it's everybody comes out in the day, and then you talk,
Right.
and then everybody goes into their house and then someone dies, and then everybody comes back out and discusses what job everybody has. Like it's a fully text-based game, so it's kind
Red
of
really likes it. Like if you want a more in-depth, what is this? Just ask him because he plays it all.
Okay,
the
because the
time.
videos and stuff on it look fine, but I haven't watched
There
anybody
is a
actually play
game
it.
on Steam that is almost a 3D version of Among Us that came out in June of this year, right before Among Us took off on popularity. It's on Steam. It's free to play, and it's got very positive reviews.
You're talking about? I have it
can't remember.
actually.
I can't
What's
remember
the
the
name of it? Unfortunate Spaceman. Is that the one you're talking about?
Yes, I think that's the one. I
Unfortunate
happen to
Spaceman.
see
Yeah,
it.
it's all.
That's funny.
It's a 3D. It's a 3D shooter. But yeah, the concept's the same.
Yes, the concept
Oh,
is the same.
we have to
Basically,
talk
you
about
gotta
the game
figure
we're
out who's the
playing.
killer.
The dinosaur game. We have to talk about it.
Oh,
Oh.
Ollie worked on it.
We had a
Ollie,
lot of
much
Ollie
respect.
love in our time away. Like that's one of the positives of having not been here for some reason. We got to do more like interaction with Ollie somehow. So I think that makes us the real winners because we love Ollie. But we played a game that he worked on that he made the character models for, and it is like we love Ollie.
To be fair,
The game
that's
is
the best part of the
terrible.
game,
Yes,
according to you all.
The character models
Okay.
are probably the best thing about the whole game.
Okay.
Because it is a 5-player co-op dino shooter survival game ish. And
It's a lot like Killing Floor. It has a Killing Floor style
yeah,
to it.
it's basically there's gonna be objectives that you have to get done, and then there's just gonna be waves and waves of dinosaurs where you've got your standard little raptors that run out and compies that are the normal ones, and then there are bigger ones like your T-Rexes and your Stegosaurs and stuff like that. And they did a lot of asset theft, 100%. Like we got into the vehicles, and it's like this is a Warthog from Halo that's been recolored, like a very poor theft version of the Halo Warthog and the
It's
Halo
like-
tank,
yes.
the Scorpion tank.
It's like
and-
going to like.
It's going to dollar store,
or
yeah.
something.
They went to the dollar store for
And it's
assets.
It's obviously like a cheaper version of GI Joe, and renamed something different.
Yeah, like you look at a lot
But
of the
it's
stuff,
the
like the
exact
weapons. There's a
same-
lightsaber. It makes lightsaber sounds and everything, but it's called like a power sword or something.
Plasma sword. Or
Yeah,
something.
but it's straight up a lightsaber, 100%. And the balance in damage is
Oh.
broken. Because there are all of these
It
guns,
is-
like basically you start with your class's base guns. There's 3 classes that you can choose from. You start with their base gun, and then you have to earn money to buy upgraded weapons and stuff. And it's like 20,000 credits to buy these upgraded weapons, so it's going to take a minute to get a lot of this stuff while you're also trying to upgrade your character. But you start with a melee knife, and the melee knife does 1,300 damage.
It's
No.
not even a knife.
No.
It's just
The-
your fist.
Yeah,
Punch
the
it.
if you hit with the if you
Yeah,
melee
it's whatever
with
your
your
melee
weapon,
is.
it does
Sorry,
like
I played the same
1,300.
class the whole time, and it was a knife. Sorry, my bad. It's whatever your melee is. But yeah, it does 1,300 damage, which one-shots everything except for the big dinosaurs. So, like, no matter what is running at you, you just start punching it, and there's no need for you to have an upgraded weapon for the most part. Like, the bigger dinosaurs, you want something you can hit it with range, but there's also a support class that will heal you. And if you have that person around, you just live forever for the most part while you're punching everything, and then the big ones come out and you use your ranged a little bit and then punch them to death too.
Yeah, it's completely busted.
frickin'
It was pretty
that
bad.
mech thing is.
Go ahead,
Yeah,
Michael.
You got
the
it
mech
on
thing
sale.
is pretty broken too,
Yeah.
except against the Triceratops.
And no, we didn't get it on sale. It's 99 cents regardless.
Yeah, it's
Oh,
$1.
it wasn't. It was.
Yeah. I was like, I mean, we put
I thought
the,
it was
the
on
playtime
sale for
into
99
it.
cents.
No, it's
No,
just
it's
99
price?
cents. Yes.
Yeah. And just to show how much they asset stole, because they didn't even go to the dollar store for this one, but one of the event maps is they have the Halloween and the Christmas event maps.
Yeah.
And for the Christmas event maps, they literally, they copied and pasted Santa Claus from Futurama.
Yeah, the
and
robot
put him
Santa.
in there. the robot Santa and had him fly around and try to
And
kill
for
you,
some
drop
robot
reason
present
on
bombs
that
on you.
map, even though it was the Christmas themed map, the area that you went to fight Santa and everything, it's like it looks cell shaded, so it was like that's weird to start with. But then the little things that came out weren't dinosaurs anymore; they were weird monsters, like little floaty balls that were supposed to be like, I don't know, werewolves and bats and junk like that. And it's like, this doesn't even make any sense. I don't know what's happening.
This game is definitely worth 99 cents.
If you've got some friends to throw
Absolutely.
down in it, like we played it 2 nights in a row, I think, so we probably put 10 hours or so into it. Of just, I mean, it's fun with your friends because you're ripping on it the whole time too. But
Yeah,
it's
like
it's not a
the
long term
reviews.
play.
The reviews did it perfect justice. Everybody was like, "This game is pretty bad." But for the price, and if you can get your friends together and play it, I guarantee you'll have a blast for a few hours.
Yeah.
And they were 100% right because that shit was a lot of fun for a couple of hours.
What's it called? Orion something or another? I don't have Steam open. Damn it.
Oop! I just made a bunch of noise.
Yeah, Orion's correct. Right?
Yeah.
But there's more to it than that.
Is anybody's Steam open? That's not
Orion Prelude.
Prelude.
There you go.
Prelude. Yeah. Orion
Yeah.
Prelude.
So if you've got $1
I mean,
and some
it's a-
friends, you know, there you go.
Yeah. It's.
Have yourself an afternoon
It's
of fun.
pretty. Yeah, just burn a few hours on it. It's if you need something, it's a 5-player game, so
Yeah. It's up to 5. You
So
can
get
probably
4 of your
go in.
friends and play it.
Yeah, which is surprising because there's not a whole lot that's 5-player co-op, which is part of why we were looking at it. You know, was because it was something that would facilitate, you know, me, Baka, Chicken, Red, and my sister at the same time.
I'll be 100% honest. The way I found that was there's a website. I don't remember what it was, but it basically gives you a filter search style where you can search for all sorts of multiplayer games. And I was like, all right, I want at least 5 players on PC. And then it took me through a whole list, and I started looking like through the list of 5-player games. And I was like, oh, Orion Prelude.
Right.
And then I looked at the reviews. I was like, oh, okay.
And we didn't know
It's
Ollie
okay.
had worked on it until afterwards. Like he
I-
saw us
yeah, the
playing
only
it, was
reason
like,
I-
"Oh my god!"
No, he didn't. I asked him.
Oh, did you?
I saw that he had 114 hours in that game, and I was like,
God.
"Oh, hey, Ollie, I see you have 114 hours in this game. Do you like it?" And he's like, "LOL. Actually, I worked on that game." And I was like, "No shit. It's 99 cents. I'm gonna go ahead and buy it."
That's too
Apparently, there
funny.
was a lot of like behind the scenes drama that led to why it is the way it is and things like that. So, you know,
We'll not bring that
Yeah.
out into the open just so that somebody doesn't get in trouble.
yeah. But it was. It's fun if you've
It
got
was an
$1.
interesting experience from what Ollie has
Just
said.
know there's a reason the game's the way it is.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's the best way to put it.
I realized-
Giant rip off hodgepodge.
You what?
Giant rip off hodgepodge of things.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
It really, really is. And I realize that we're 45 minutes into the show and still talking about things that we've played. We haven't talked about these things in 5 months. Give us a
Hey,
break.
that's fine. This is what we expected. It's been 5 months because I still have a couple of. Well, I still have 2 things that I want to know.
Well, go ahead.
I've basically been playing WoW constantly for the last 5 months. It has
Yeah.
been basically what has engulfed my life almost completely. And the other game that I've been putting a lot of time into that I have to give a shout out because everybody has to have it in their library is Risk of Rain 2. That game is so unbelievably good, and they did a full release back in August after being in early access for about a year. That's another studio that I want to give high praise for because their game is so good. From Risk of Rain 1 to Risk of Rain 2, it is what a sequel is supposed to be. Like the gameplay.
Is that 4-player co-op? I know you've
involved.
played it with 3
Yes, it
people at
is.
a time, but I didn't know if there was room for a 4th.
Yes,
Okay.
it is 4-player co-op,
The
and it
last
is
boss
so
is
good.
a bitch.
Oh, buddy. Yeah. Once they released the last, like when they released 1.0, they released the final part of the campaign, and he is a bitch. A huge bitch. It was ridiculous. I think we fought him like 8 or 9 times before we beat him. I even fought him a couple times myself and lost. It's very difficult.
Then they run away from the exploding moon.
Sure wasn't a space station.
Spoiler
Yeah.
alert. You're supposed to
Yeah.
say spoiler alert before, Baka. Before you say the ending.
I'm sure there's a lot of distance between then and there, though, so hopefully that it doesn't spoil that much.
Yeah.
Has it got a plot line to it? Like,
Yes,
is it...
actually, it has a plot line. They introduced the cinematic once they released the full 1.0. Basically, you're on a ship, and you you find a planet, and the captain sends you down to the planet to explore. And that's pretty much the gist of it. You go through these levels, you find these weird ritual altar things, and when they summon out all these different types of beasts and animals and monsters that you have to try to kill before, and then when you activate the altar and it's cleared, it teleports you to another section of the planet, and then you rinse and repeat. And you can get different items that make your character build differently each time.
So basically, you're invading a planet and they're trying to defend it.
Kinda.
Just checking. So you're the
Like
bad
every
guy
other
in
game.
Risk of Rain 2
Yeah,
is what
pretty
I'm getting
much.
out of
That's
this.
what I was about to say.
To be fair, they shoot first.
You're on their planet.
Yeah.
So what? If somebody
Messing
comes down
with
to
the
our planet,
altars.
okay, so if someone comes down to our planet and then Hay's like, hey, yo, and then we've got some ridiculous certain individuals on this planet that just start shooting them.
Honestly,
They shoot back, they're not the
already
bad
have
guy.
Some of the, you already know we have people like that.
Yeah, I
They-
know.
they
That's
like
the
to call
point.
themselves-
He was saying it in the terms of we do.
Yeah, as you know we do. If we had a visitor land on our planet, the first thing some people would do would be like, get them, shoot them, get them out of here. It's like, you don't even know if
doesn't
they're
belong
mean. Yeah.
Well, he's
I mean, we
here
have
to
enough
take
of
our
that problem
jobs.
these days. You don't belong here?
He's here to take our jobs.
Stop it. Stop it. Lord have mercy.
Ugh.
Do we want to talk news? I mean, we're almost 50 minutes.
Yeah, I mean, we can run through the news really quick and marathon it, I'm sure.
We can do that.
What
Uh,
super critically important news have we missed in the last 5 months? Nothing
Oh.
is the answer to that.
I've been playing Pokemon with old school Game Boy.
That's an SP. That's not an
Well,
old school Game Boy.
it
Don't you
depends
try to
on-
sell
on-
that to the younger
It
generation?
depends on the age range you ask, because for my nephews this is old school.
No, it's not. Then your original one must be ancient, like calligraphy to them.
It is.
Calligraphy
Like
or
dinosaurs.
Sanskrit?
I've got
The
to find
Sanskrit.
it back for the pocket that I found. The back to it is
Funny.
missing for some reason, but
PlayStation did a teardown of the PS5, and I looked at the picture, and it's huge. Baka mentioned the console, and made me think of that. It's huge. I mean, it's basically a PC. You just have a little bit smaller of a tower than the rest of us.
Yeah, I was about to say the era of consoles is over. Everybody is making their own versions of a cheap PC.
Here's a mini PC that only does these things with the operating system.
Pretty much. I mean, you can literally buy a PC that is that size and that price.
Yeah, you can buy, like, I looked at mini towers, it just wouldn't hold the graphics cards that I wanted. So,
Well,
Yeah.
it wouldn't hold.
I mean, I
it wouldn't hold the processor and graphics card for that same price either that they're currently getting.
Yeah, these
'cause
ones
they're
are
getting a discount.
specifically designed.
Sony and Microsoft are getting discounts from AMD for theirs. So
Mm-hmm.
it's huge,
But-
though. I mean,
You
unless
know,
that's a very
it is
kind
huge.
man. In which case...
I think it's kind of funny in the video though. They're basically showing people how to dismantle their system.
Yeah, I thought about that too. I was like, I'm not sure if it's the best idea to show people how to take it apart, but I guess most of us still
But-
wouldn't, like, even if we knew how
someone
to
had
do it,
mentioned
why
in another
would we do
video
it?
that someone mentioned in another video that this is not the first time they've done that. Like they did it with 3 and 4 also, is what somebody had mentioned in another video.
I don't
I don't
remember them doing.
I didn't
that
either. I didn't
with
remember it
3 or
either,
4.
but they'd mentioned that, and I was like, okay, maybe it's just bigger
I
of a
know
deal
that
now
there-
because we've
I
gotten
know
to that part. And
I know that
In
there
gaming?
are videos online where other people will do that and show you
Right.
how to dismantle. Maybe they're just like, well, regardless, people are going to take these things apart.
I wonder if they're
to
doing it.
replace the hard drives
It's
or
a big ass
whatever.
heat
So
sink.
Oh, just hurt himself. Everybody, look at him. Look at him. Okay. You all right?
okay. Yep.
I do wonder though if part of this is because they're showing you how you can take it apart, because eventually they're going to be like, and now it really is a PC, just start upgrading the pieces. We'll sell you the pieces individually.
No, I guarantee when they start doing that, they're going to make it very easy and accessible. Like, you'll just take a screw off and pop off the side and be able to pull it out, and it, like, quick connects to where you can
Yeah,
just
but
take
that's
out
what
the...
a
kind of
lot of
what
it
they're
looks
doing
like.
now.
You slide off the panels and take it apart. That's it.
you're also taking apart the void warranty stickers. So if you screw something up, they
That's on
they
you.
can charge you. They can charge you basically the cost of a new system to fix it.
Yeah, well,
They mentioned
I mean,
in this
you have
article
people-
even that you can remove the white panels, and it makes them wonder if you can buy different colored ones. That's the same as being able to buy the
take the
Nintendo
face
Switch,
plates off of
or,
your old
yeah, like
Xbox.
stuff like that, the old face plates and
I was
everything.
going to go way back.
That's
Mhm.
neat, because then you don't have to worry about them releasing a special edition that you like. You can just be like, oh, I'm just gonna spend $30 or whatever to get the other panels that are cute.
And to be fair, because I've got a PS5 coming. I was lucky enough, a friend of mine was able to get me one, but I would prefer that because I don't like the white.
Yeah, I don't either. And I was thinking, like, I think we mentioned it when they announced the new consoles. Like, if we, Chicken and I, were to get a next gen, or when we get a next gen console, it will be the PlayStation, because we can play everything from Xbox on PC already. So, I mean, that's the only one we need. But if I can get cute little panels for it too, yeah.
Or you can just remove your panels and
Make it naked?
spray paint them a different color.
Yeah.
Like honestly,
tie-dye
like, I could go through if I got one, I would take mine off and you'd have to sand it a bit to rough it up for the
See, I'm
primer
not
and
looking to
everything
do
stick,
all that. I just want them to sell me a pretty one. I don't want to have to do it myself.
then you can customize it.
I mean, they'd have to make it cost effective.
I think, I mean,
Right.
Well, but
I think
fine.
it was like
I'll
What would
do
you
it.
say is a
20
reasonable
bucks?
price for 2 panels?
$5.
So $20 is
the,
what
well, I
the
think
$5.
$20
Look how
was
thin
the
those
one was the
motherfuckers
price
are.
point for the Xbox 360 panels, and that was the little front piece, and then I think it was only one side, wasn't it? Or did they give you 2 side pieces? So I mean,
For the
$20,
original
it'd probably
360s,
be
it
more
was
like
just-
30
just the front
now.
part.
But I think it'd be between $20 and $30 for a new panel set.
I-
Although they
I
probably
think
try
if-
to sell them at 50.
I think they're
Fuck
going to be
that
50.
shit.
If PlayStation does it, it's going to be at $50.
But I think that if PlayStation does it, it's going to open such a large third party for that kind of stuff that the third party ones are going to be a lot cheaper and the same thing.
The minute he took it apart, every third party in there is going, all right, let me get out my 3D
Yeah,
printer.
Mad
real
Cats
quick."
is like, let me write this down, and everybody's like, aren't you out of business? And they're like, don't care, this is gold. we be reading starting under Mad Dogs. All right, calm down over there.
Mad Sharks.
But it's is that a small person, like a small dude, or is that console really giant? And I just don't.
No, it's big. It's
Okay.
a large
It's big.
count.
It looks
it's a
like
large,
a
it's
I mean, he's
a
a
super-sized-
small-
PC.
He's a small dude, too, but he's not that small.
It's a
Is there a way to say that?
basically it's a router that's on steroids. Got it.
It's about as big as a Comcast router, modem router.
These things are
I mean, those
needlessly
motherfuckers
large.
are about that big.
Yes, needlessly large. All right, what else we got in the news stuff now that we know what a PlayStation 5 looks like? And quite possibly how
A
it can
quick
make
one
an
I'm
extra-
happy about, and probably nobody else cared about, which was the fact they've got 2 Doctor Who games that are coming out. One of which is, the way they say it, they're saying it's going to be on consoles and PC. But it's a sequel to a VR game, which I think is weird. But it's going to have both David Tennant and Jodie Whittaker in it, which Jodie Whittaker, she's the newest Doctor, and David Tennant's the 10th Doctor, which is my favorite Doctor. And so I'm interested to see how that is. And then they're also coming out with a mobile game. To be honest, it looks pretty lame. But I'll probably play it anyway. That has to do with the Weeping Angels, which is one of my favorite villains from the game because they're just fucking scary. And which are actually in Damned, there was there was a weeping angel in it that was just as creepy.
Yes.
So yeah, I mean, it's just it was just one of my favorite storylines was with them. So I'm glad they're adding it in. And it actually looks like the other game, which is I can't even remember the name of it now. It's Edge of Reality, I think, is gonna have weeping angels in it as well. So I'm excited about that.
Well, that's cool.
Like I said, I'm the only one, but still excited.
Yeah, I was gonna say no comment.
I mean, a lot of
I'm
other
glad you're
people are going
happy.
to be excited about it just because we're not. Doesn't mean anything.
That's why I said no
Yeah.
comment. I'm glad you're happy. That's the
Yeah.
important part.
The Resident Evil.
I'll be happy
movie.
if they ever do a new Castlevania, but that won't ever happen.
No, probably
No,
not.
well, it will, but we're gonna be old by the time that
we'll never get a
happens.
new Silent
They're
Hill
gonna be
either, so.
we're gonna be. Oh, I guarantee we'll get a new Silent
No.
Hill. Sony is begging for a Silent Hill
Yeah,
on the
but
PS5
Capcom
console.
is not going to want to let it go, okay? Because Capcom is
Capcom's too
stupid.
busy with gambling machines.
Or Konami, sorry. My bad.
Hello? Yeah, don't you
Yeah.
dare.
I'm sorry,
insult
it's because I was
Capcom.
looking
I
at the
will,
Resident
I will
Evil
climb through
page,
this
and-
wall.
I was looking at the article for the Resident Evil movie and it says Capcom, and so my brain just put it in.
Yeah, don't you dare slander
Konami's
Capcom.
never going to sell it. And they even tweeted something about Silent Hill the other day, and everybody's like, oh, yes, finally, a new game, because there have been rumors, and there's rumors forever, and there will never not be rumors, because that's all there'll ever be. But when Konami tweeted something about it, it ended up being that they were going to resell the figure of Pyramid Head from Silent Hill 2. And I think the nurses, they're selling statuettes of those two. It's like, give us the game, you cowards!
Dude, you got to make it like RE
But
remake.
they
Got
are
to.
giving you the games that you just have to go gamble money on the new ones.
Yeah, that's why we're never going to get it, is they're not interested in doing anything with their properties aside from pachinko machines, so...
Well, we'll see. As the years go on, we will absolutely see.
Well,
Oh,
yes.
and because it was announced after we stopped doing the podcast, Resident Evil 8 is announced too.
Yeah. Was that after? I thought we talked about it.
Yeah, it was
Oh.
in June.
It was after
My bad. Look,
I know, right?
everything's just running
early
together,
early
okay?
May was our last one. It's
Everything's
now
was
running
announced
together.
in
This
June.
year has been ridiculous, alright? Look, we're all
Oh,
lucky
I'm
that
sure
I can remember
everybody
my own
understands.
name for the start of the show.
But they are doing a new Resident Evil movie
Yay.
reboot,
Yay!
and it's gonna actually follow the games. This one is gonna be game related.
Yeah, because the
so-
other ones were not.
Unless Capcom is there babysitting the director, I doubt it'll be like the games.
Look, let's hope that that's what's happening, is that Capcom is right there
I-
going, look!
I don't know how they're gonna do it though, because I don't know what event they're going to do. They shouldn't have cast Leon or Claire, and should have just stuck with Wesker, Chris, Jill, and
done the
Barry,
early
and did the
Resident
whole
Evil games.
mansion incident. Yeah, and did the whole mansion incident, but they added Leon and Claire, and it's like, those are two separate events.
This is why
Maybe.
I already see it's going to be bad, because Paul Anderson, he did the other movies too, and he has a reputation for the video game movies of like, yeah, this is the baseline for it. We're going to toss this out the window, and
No, the writer
I'm just going to do this.
The writer and director is different on this one.
Really?
Yeah.
I was reading that as they're bringing back the other
No,
idiot.
no, they just mentioned
No.
his
the
name
other idiot.
as working on the previous ones.
Yeah, that's why they said it'll take the form
Yes.
of an origin story. Although, let's be honest, you could cast a whole thing with talking animals and still manage to be more entirely faithful than Anderson's various Resident Evil efforts,
Okay.
which is
Yeah,
true.
okay, I misread that then. I thought they were bringing him back. That was like, oh,
That would seem to defeat the purpose
Maybe
of
they
doing a
cast
reboot.
them, but they're planning on doing like a trilogy thing with it, so that we're not actually going to see Claire and Leon in the first one. We just know who they will.
I will
be.
say that they did get somebody really, really good to play Chris. He looks like he could play Chris. Robbie Amell, everybody has seen him in something, but he
Probably.
looks like he could be Chris. And Tom Hopper, which is Luther in an Umbrella Academy. I don't know if anybody has seen
Yes.
him. He's 6'5" and a very stocky dude. I know Wesker's very thin and whatnot, but I think they didn't want to go with the stereotypical movie starts, that's the bad guy kind of deal.
Yeah.
So it's gonna be. But he's really tall and he's got a presence amongst the cast. So I think he'll do okay because somebody posted a fan made movie poster for it, and it actually looks okay. As a Resident Evil fan, hardcore fan, it looks okay. I could see them be the characters. So
To be fair, the Mario Brothers poster looked okay. The movie was not
like
okay.
40 years ago.
We've come to expect more now. Nobody wants to repeat
Yeah.
that. They've also announced a new Mortal Kombat movie, I think,
Yes,
that
they
is
did.
going to be hopefully better than the cheesy ones of the past. I know. Those have a cult following and people like them. But
Hey, that Mortal
doesn't
Kombat movie
make
was
them
fun.
good. Hey, I'm
Same
saying
for
that as
World of
somebody
Warcraft,
that
right?
At least
enjoyed
the
the stupidity of the
first
Mario
one-
Brothers movie, okay?
The first
Or-
Mortal Kombat movie, at least what was entertaining, and was the
Yes.
closest thing to a good video game based movie for forever.
Because I enjoyed the shit out of it. Like, I mean,
It's
it's not your fucking grade A high caliber cinema, but it is a fun ride.
I
For
remember
sure.
going to the theaters to see the second one. That was a mistake.
Yay, the second one!
Because
Boo!
I
I can't
liked
believe
the
I spent
first
money on
one.
that.
Oh, we'll go to the second one. Oh, this is not good.
Well, to be fair, like everyone was that way because the first one was like, hey, this is actually pretty good, and then the second one came out and it's like, what
Ooh,
the
this
hell
is-
happened?
Boo! What happened? Why isn't this one as good?
Well, Oak mentioned the Warcraft movie. There is Warcraft news. It's not about another movie yet. But
There is another movie.
okay,
Yeah,
but
there
it's
was-
not coming out yet. We've heard about
No,
the
but there is another movie.
No, we were talking about things in the make. We were talking about.
But the new expansion for WoW that should have been out probably by now. Traditionally, they come out I
Actually,
think
no,
September,
it's going to
October.
be at the end of this month.
What?
It was going to be the end of this month.
Yes.
27th.
It got pushed back though. I mean, it's not surprising. The same thing's happening with movies and stuff. But this one's definitely getting shoved a bit. Sometime later this year is what it says, but my guess is we probably won't see Shadowlands, or I won't see it at all because I'm not going to play retail. But if you're playing retail, you probably won't see Shadowlands until next year, would be my guess. Because they're still working on balancing, and from what I've heard from some people that have been on the PTR for it, it's just not where it needs to be. Granted, I kind of feel like that's the whole current Blizzard atmosphere, is it's just not where it needs to be. So, shocking that this didn't make the cut either.
Wait, this isn't coming to mobile? I thought this was going to be a mobile version.
Right.
We all have phones.
Yeah, don't you people have phones? Alright. We didn't get BlizzCon either. That's being moved to an online digital event, which makes sense because that is the safest
In
way
February.
to do anything. But yes, it will be February when they do the online version of BlizzCon and talk
Yeah,
about
that's
stuff, which I hope
what
does not
Re-
include more
ReaperCon
mobile
was.
games.
Now that's what ReaperCon was like for here as well. They just did it free for everyone on Twitch for online thing, and they had painting classes and everything.
It hasn't been announced yet, but I'm pretty sure there's still going to be a ticket that you have to buy for the online.
Oh, absolutely.
Because BlizzCon
I was
always
talking
is
to-
a ticketed event.
I was talking to Maldus about this because, he goes every year. And one of the highlights that they get for the people that go normally is they get to play like a new build of whatever the games are they're announcing, some type of build for it.
Mhm.
And he was theorizing it's a possibility. He didn't know how much of a possibility that he thought they might give at least a demo build to those people that have the ticket.
I mean, maybe.
so-
To be fair, that's what they did. That's what they
Which
did
might be why
with-
they're waiting until February to do it instead of November, right?
What did they do? They gave Destiny 2 away for free for ticket holders if you had one, or everybody on BattleNet.
Or one of the
It was
expansions.
they did it for everybody on
Battle.net.
BattleNet. Yeah, it wasn't just for the
Yeah.
event. They just announced it at the event.
And I want to say they gave like access to the WoW or classic WoW. But if you had a ticket or something like that, I know they've done it before. If you owned a ticket, they give you something. They give you like access to beta or something.
They also give you stuff
So he-
for the different games, like Overwatch and stuff. Well, I guess this
Not like
time
they
it
need
really
all the
will
money,
just
though.
be Overwatch and WoW, because they don't have Heroes anymore to give you stuff for that, and I don't think they're still doing.
Yeah, they do.
Heroes of the. They're not
Heroes
updating
of the
it.
Storm. Yes, they are.
Didn't they cancel it? Like last year at BlizzCon?
No, they
like, pulled
canceled
rug
the
out from under everybody?
esports version. They canceled the esports version.
I
of
thought
it.
that they weren't doing any more development for the game in general.
Oh no, they put that shit on a skeleton crew. They get updates. It's just very far
It
between
wasn't.
updates now.
Yeah, what wasn't it as frequently as what it was for a while, where it was like every month there was some new hero, new update. Now it's like every once in a while here's a bone.
Yeah,
Do you
it
prefer
really
it
is
that
every
way?
once in a
'Cause
while.
do you still play at all? Like either
No,
one of them?
not at all. And it hurt. It
I'd
breaks
almost
my heart.
prefer it to be a hero every once in a while versus one a month. You know?
Eh, well, it wasn't one of
Because I feel like you're watering your game down the more you add to it that way.
Yeah, but I mean, games like League of Legends has 150 something heroes, and Heroes of the Storm had like 30. I mean, there's a pretty big gap between the amount of heroes people find acceptable. So it just added variety. But you know, power creep is a terrible thing in MOBAs. And speaking of MOBAs, Amazon's canceled Crucible, which I'm pretty sure was their MOBA.
I thought it was a shooter. I
It was
thought that one was the
It was
shooter.
a shooter.
A shooter MOBA. Yeah, it is.
It was the MMO that
It
they were
launches
trying to. Or no,
free-
New World was
free
the
to-
MMO.
Yeah, free to download, team-based MOBA style third-person shooter. Yes. And it's out of here.
Free to
Everybody gets
download. That's the
everybody
one
gets
that they were
full
gonna make
refunds.
you like pay per match or something, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was some terrible shit like
Well,
that.
no wonder it didn't work out. Nobody wants to pay per match. Like, just sell me the game at a base price, and if it's good, I'll buy it, and if it's not, then no thanks. It'll still end up in the same way it is now.
I will say, watching the early access for New World, their
Mm-hmm.
MMO, it actually looks pretty good.
That looks
Ah.
really good.
I watched it with you,
I'm
and it's
not-
one of those things where it seems like most of the stuff in it, like they've taken a lot of stuff that a lot of different MMOs have done separately and put it all in one MMO, so it seems like it's full of features that are new, but it's really not new stuff. It's just that it's new to having it all in one game. I didn't really blow me away.
Yeah, I mean, no one's got a fan on. No one's blowing anybody away with that. It looks good though. It's hard to like find decent MMOs, and this one it seems like they're on the right track. Like they've got a long way to go before you can compete with the behemoths that is Guild Wars and RuneScape and WoW. So, but it is what it is. It's decent. And we'll see how it goes, because I think it's supposed to come out next year, early access.
The Final Fantasy has become one of the.
Oh
the
yes, Final Fantasy
big-
14.
Yeah.
I don't
It
play
reminded
those,
me.
Who were playing that one?
The MMO reminded me of another game, and I can't think of what it is. Shit. It was a top-down though. It was free to play also. But it was. You've played it a lot, Chicken, but I can't think of the name of it. It's not Pillars of Eternity, right? But it's similar number of letters, like POE of some sort.
Path of Exile?
Path of Exile.
Yeah, Path of Exile. It reminds me of that, except in a third-person view. Is when I was looking at just watching the way they built the world and things like that. That's what it reminded me of.
I think the most interesting part that I find about it is the world play. Like nothing in the game seems like it's super interesting because it looks like a Guild Wars style fighting and whatnot. But I think the world play is the most interesting part. Is you pick one of your 3 factions and then you join that faction and then you fight in the zones for your faction. And as you level up your reputation, you can reduce the cost. You can put traits in for the city in that zone, and then it reduces your taxes. You can buy houses. You can reduce the cost of materials for that place, reduce like all sorts of different things. And because the combat seems simple, but what's around it seems a little bit better. Because WoW is the complete opposite. Like, the world is just... There's really not much to interact with in the world, short of quests and whatnot. It's mostly character interaction and doing raids and dungeons and things like that. Where this one has a lot of world interactions. It's what made Rift so good, is that the world
That
was
wasn't fun.
alive constantly. And it felt good while you were leveling. To any moment, a rift will open on you, or while you're trying to quest, one of your hubs are taken over, and you've got to get people together to try to take it back and close rifts. Like, it felt more alive. And WoW just does not. Like, it's fully social, which is definitely a good thing. I like it. But it's why I think the difference is that the world feels alive, but the characters are very boring, for the lack of a better term.
Bird. Let's see what we got. We got basically the last part's, is it Epic stuff?
Epic and Microsoft, it's basically Apple stuff, because Microsoft's looking to circumvent Apple's iOS, or the App Store, to get Microsoft Game Pass games on the Apple mobile stuff, which is kind of, sort of, what was already happening with Epic. Basically, they want to be able to play in a browser so that you didn't have to go through the Epic Game Store. You could buy your stuff, your microtransactions. With Fortnite, it was you could buy your transactions through the browser and then play it through the Play Store, so you didn't have to spend any money. But this looks like Microsoft wants to go completely browser-based. And I don't think Apple's going to be happy about that, because, again, it's the same deal. They're not going to get their 30% off of the Play Store.
Well, Epic was doing it, Epic was trying to do it through their an actual app on the App Store itself.
Mm-hmm.
Where it looks like Microsoft actually might be able to get away with that by circumventing it, because it's something you have to physically log into on Safari on the on your phone. Where Epic, it's basically a judge is telling them that, you know, because they're ignoring every other platform. They were basically saying that because it's a mobile platform, it's different than every other thing that's out there, but they're ignoring Switch, laptops, different things like that that should be able to play on mobile as well. And so Epic, I think all of us believe that Epic is doing this literally so they can create an Epic store on mobile.
Oh, absolutely.
So they can make 100% of the profit. And here's where I have a problem. Is Apple built the iPhone. All of it's built in-house. They have it completely locked to where unless you jailbreak one, it's for a security issue, so you don't have to worry about some outside thing coming in, but also that costs them money to do so. So they're charging the 30% they do for everybody in the App Store, and that is negotiable. So it is one of those that if you sell a certain amount, then that number drops just like it does with Steam. So, but Epic is wanting 100% of the profits of everything they sell and still be on the platform. You don't have to be on iPhone. You're choosing to be on iPhone.
Yeah.
And it's the same thing with Google. You don't have to be part of Google's platform, Android, but you're choosing to do it because everybody has a phone, and that's what you're trying to do, and you're trying to benefit from their technology. And it's a little different when you're dealing with Windows than you're dealing with a phone to me. Because I don't have to download the Epic Store to get games. I do, however, have to download it to get certain games that they've played for exclusivities.
Yeah.
And so which I don't even have it on my PC. None of us do, I don't think. Yeah, so we don't. Epic already pissed me off once, twice, maybe 3 times. Now they're working on 4. Because I'm like, you're literally just greedy at this point. You're trying to get 100% of your profit and not have to work for any part of it, and it drives me insane.
Well, they don't want to work with anybody for it. They're like, okay, it'd basically be like if they put their game on Steam and then was like, I want 100% of whatever it makes off of Steam. And it seems like, no, I built this platform and I need money to run this platform. You're going to have to give me a cut. No, we're not. We're going to build our client inside your client, and then we're going to make 100% out of that. It's like, that's not how it works. Epic, it doesn't work like that. Apple built this entire system You've got to give them a cut if you want
But
it on their
Epic wants
system.
you to understand that they're helping devs by giving devs a bigger cut than anybody else, and doesn't that make them special and an exception to these rules? No,
If
it
devs
doesn't.
want more of a cut, get rid of Epic and put it on the store themselves.
Yeah, well, if
Well, any
if
storefront
there
you're
wasn't,
using, it's going to charge.
the
but-
other thing
Yeah.
is too, they're using this as a guinea pig against these two mobile manufacturers to go after the consoles, because now what they can do is if they win this, they turn around and they go, Xbox, you can't have an exclusive store on your Xbox that you created and everything else. We get to have an app that allows for Fortnite to run, and we get 100% of the profit.
Yeah.
And same thing for Sony. They can say whatever they want for those particular games, because
I
now there
do
would be
not
a
think
ruling
they're
in their
gonna win.
favor to help them with that. But that's what
I
they're
do not
shooting.
think they're going to win at all.
I don't
like, that,
either.
that
I
would
don't
just
think-
be...
Well, I mean, I know
Not
right
unless
now
they
anyway.
pay off
There's a
the
federal.
judge.
There's a federal case that has Apple involved in it anyway for monopoly stuff, and it has to do with the App Store and how they're taking profit, like how they deal with their percentage profit and whatnot. I haven't read as much into that one as I probably should to speak intelligently on it, but I do know that that is a thing that is already in litigation. So Apple's already being looked at, and I don't want Epic to think that that's going to help them, because I don't think it's going to help them the way that they think it will. They
Well,
basically be
but the
doing
other
the
thing
same
is,
thing
too,
that Apple's getting pegged for, which is trying to keep all of the
If-
profits.
If you have, but that's what you at that particular point. That's how judges and everybody else is going to look at it. Is you made a decision to whether or not you wanted to be on this platform or not.
Yeah.
The reason that you're buying stuff through the App Store or selling your stuff through the App Store is because it's the only way you can sell on that your product that way. You don't have to be on their product. You're choosing to be. Apple's got about 50% of all the phones that are out there. The rest of them are Android or Linux, one or the other. And which Linux is completely open. You can do whatever the fuck you want over there if you really want to do it, but nobody has Linux phones really. So, you know, when it's not a monopoly when it's 50%. The problem is 80% or more of the market on PCs around the entire world are Windows.
Yeah.
Which is why Microsoft got in trouble for having a monopoly for so long, and that's why it was a problem. And that's when they're trying to take them to court based on that Microsoft decision. It's like, it ain't the same thing. It's not apples and apples. One is 50% and the other is 80.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
it's
it'd basically be like if you weren't allowed to put any other clients on Windows and you had to buy everything through the Microsoft Store. Like, you weren't allowed to have Steam on a Windows product. You weren't allowed to have Epics on a Windows product, but you can. Like, the Windows is open because it's on everything.
Yeah. That's
Everybody, there's more than just the iPhone. And,
Which I
and
think
like
is-
they said, there.
Oh, go ahead.
Just the top comment is there's no different from the walled gardens online stores of Sony, Microsoft, and Nintendo on their respective consoles. Like, I mean, it is what
That's
it
actually
is.
a quote from the
Sony
article.
has, Sony has their Play Store, right? There you go. That's theirs. They do that, and if you want to sell your games on that, you got to go through.
But that's
them.
what
It's
Oak is
their
saying, is that Epic is going to
console.
try to win this against Apple and then use that same logic against the other consoles, so that your Epic Games, launcher and your Epic Games stores is going to be on all of them, and they make 100% of the profit, and the console owners like Sony and Microsoft and Nintendo get nothing out of it. That's what they're hoping
They're
to
going
do with this.
Yeah, I
this
know, but they're
specific thing.
going to lose this one. This is like
It's
this comment
2020.
says,
I don't
they
even know
need-
anymore, man.
They either
That
have
is
to
true.
back down or seriously rethink their approach here, because they are going to lose this one. Like, it's not Apple's the only one that's doing this. It's common across everything, and they're just deciding to pick. To be fair, they picked the fight with the wrong big dog on this topic too. Apple's got a lot of money, and they will beat the shit out of
The
Epic
first
until
company
the
to hit $2 trillion.
But I also
Yeah.
think that Epic is trying to use this as a PR piece of leverage, which is, we're trying to do what's best for the gamers so that it doesn't charge them, so that we don't have to charge extra through the Play Store to get the right amount on our end of it. And so we're trying to help you, and look at this big corporation that's trying to keep us down. We're the good guys. Like,
no,
Epic's
they're
doing
the bad guys.
everything that Epic does is
Exactly.
very it's a concerted effort. It's very planned, so that it appears
yes.
a certain way to the little people like you and me, and we're supposed to be like, oh no, they're trying to help us, how dare Apple, we want to support Epic. But if you've got half of a brain cell, you can probably figure it out.
Oh yeah, like if you are somewhat intelligent, you can see that this is just a play.
The hardcore stupid Apple boys and stuff, all the people who are hardcore for Apple, who are going to spend a grand for a stand for their monitor, and not just the monitor part.
Holy shit.
They're gonna make sure that this doesn't get through either.
I also think that it's
But
funny.
I mean,
just,
it has no legal standing.
No, it doesn't.
It's not going to get through.
But just numbers wise, Oak was talking about the percentage of the mobile market that is Apple to start with. There's 4 of us here. 3 of us are not Apple users. Like, I just think it's funny.
Yes.
I'm the only Apple one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just.
So I mean,
That
It's like
number
that's
is
your first
skewed
argument
right
to go
here.
after. You're going after Apple because you think it's a monopoly. It's not.
it is not a monopoly. First of all, a shitload of people have Androids.
I love my
I mean,
Android.
Well, but
it's the
'cause
same
there's
principle.
more variety. It's more variety when you come with Android because you have a cheaper variety for, let's say, LG or somebody makes a cheaper phone and Samsung's making a higher price phone, and you got all the things that are in between, and they might make different things. You get variety. It's on there. Where Apple says, and they've always been this way. They're the same thing with their PCs. Everything's made in house, so they control from start to finish. Where Microsoft was a strictly software company, which is why it spread. You had Dell and Gateway and HP and all this stuff that spread across the entire United States and the world, and it was available to more people, so it grows. But that iPhone is made a certain way and done in-house, where Android is not. Does it make one better than the other one? No, they both have great features that one has and one doesn't, and then they steal from each other, and that's how this damn thing works.
Yeah.
That's why competition works, people.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's like,
Hey, guess what? Guess what? PS5 gonna have a fucking Game Pass now, isn't it? You know?
Yeah. And I'm just waiting for it to come to PC too, because they're going to want to tap into the PC market too. Thank you.
Great.
Thank you, Microsoft. I appreciate you helping
Technically-
Sony bring their games to my PC.
PlayStation had something kind of similar to it before Microsoft, but
Well, they have PlayStation now. It's not the same. You have to still you're renting
well,
the
it
game.
was PlayStation Plus, and you got access to free games, and then Microsoft started doing their own version, and then it kind of took off from there.
Yeah, like that's why at least we have these 2 juggernauts that are hitting each other, where one's like, oh, I like this, and the other one's like, that's a good idea, let's make it better. Oh, that is good, let's make it even better. And now we've come to the point of where we get Game Pass. I am waiting for my Sony Game Pass, because they're going to do it.
Right now they're saying it's not going to be on PC, but I bet it will be.
Yeah.
It will be,
Eventually
because
it
they
will
said the
be.
same thing about their games too. They're like, oh, we're going to make sure that our exclusives are on Sony, and here we are with Horizon Zero Dawn and God of War and all these different things that you could play on their their client and whatnot. So it's only a matter of time. It's too big of a market to not do it.
Yep.
Well, with streaming and Twitch and everything, like bringing all that to PC just makes sense, because then you have the streamers who are like, cool, I can just download it on my PC and show it.
Absolutely.
Exactly.
I had one other story thing in the news, but it was more for a discussion starter, so I'm going to hold on to that. I'm going to save that for
Okay,
later.
hold on to it for
Well,
next
you don't want to start a
week.
discussion an hour and 20 minutes in? I don't
An
get
hour
it.
and
No.
almost 30 minutes in? Yeah. One of us has to edit this later.
Too funny. Anything else? Anybody else wants to add?
No, that should be it for our first show back.
Yeah, Chicken will start streaming again soon. YouTube stuff will start happening again soon. Hey, we're back right now. You're listening, so yay.
And the first game that I'm going to stream the moment that I start is going to be Ghosts of Tsushima, because I have been wanting to play it since it was released, and I have been holding off so hardcore to
They're
just stream the
introducing
whole
co-op
thing.
to that, by the way.
I know, and Dogo petting, which is going to be amazing.
If
Every
I
game
played
should have
the
doggo
game with
petting.
you, I'd just be stopping to pet all the doggos.
And
I
when you
think you
pet
can
the
only do it on
dogos, they
second.
become your partners.
But you have
and
to
yeah,
have
you
a
to
second
do UK
playthrough
Plus.
for that. Yeah.
Oh no, I have to play through it again.
This is the new Sekiro, isn't it? Where you play it like 40 times in a row.
Hey, I only played it 4 times in a
It's
row.
not,
and I
not as hard
100%ed it.
as Sekiro, though. It's like, from what I watched of it, it's more akin to like the Batman Arkham games.
Well, he just bought those on
Oh.
Steam
I'd agree with
too.
that.
So
I have the entire Batman collection on Steam. I got it total. I got all of the games for like $20, and that's just a collection you have to own.
Oh yeah, for sure. We do appreciate everybody that hangs out with each and every week at Infinite Respawn. Now that we're back,
Yeah.
as always, you can check us out at Twitter at Infinite Res PC. You can check me out personally at MDB Oak Tree. Check out Griff.
At Griff Slanum.
Check out Chicken.
At Elite Chicken 313.
Check out Baka.
Nah, at Baka Pickle.
Also, make sure you go to Griff's YouTube channel where she's about to kick it back up. She get everything working properly.
Yeah.
Where she said she's going to be playing through Skyrim. Woo woo!
It'll
Yay, some
probably take
Skyrim.
a while. Probably take some breaks here and there, but the whole thing will eventually be there. Come on,
By
this
the
is a
time
journey
our
with
son
me.
starts, kindergarten is when you'll be done with it.
I hate you.
Oh god, that's good.
Well, if she does
also
have
make-
request in the game,
Also,
yeah.
make sure you go to twitch.tv/EliteChicken313 to check Chicken out when he starts streaming. So go ahead and hit the follow button there, and then when he starts up, make sure you have the alert button set, and then that way you'll know when he goes live. And then you can also go to, I have now moved because Mixer shut down, twitch.tv/MDB Oak Tree, where I'm back on that channel there, where I stream every day pretty much except for Wednesday. For Infinite Respawn, I'm Oak Tree.
I'm Griff. Chicken's not paying
I'm
attention.
Chicken. I'm not paying attention. It's been so long. Come on now, give me a break. I was trying to turn off sounds.
I'm Baka.
Bye.
Bye.
Please hang up and try again.